Friday afternoon. You've made it through another difficult week of your life. Oh my God, it's been so tough. And I know exactly what you're thinking to yourself. You're thinking exactly to yourself, Lil Joe, I'm so happy that the week is over and it's time for the weekend because the new starter decks for Dragon Ball Super's card game Set 5 are coming out. And I know the other thing that you're thinking to yourself, who the heck is this guy in the corner of Lil Joe's screen? You might be wondering. This is my boy, CoffeeTalks Strategy. I found this guy on Reddit. I don't know if you guys know much about what has been going on with me lately, but I have kind of dropped off the Marvel Contest of Champions game. I still play it a little bit, but I have all these addiction problems happening and all this crazy stuff, so I'm really into this Dragon Ball Super card game. It is so fun. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard me talk about it. I want to welcome everybody to the chat, and I want to give a really big shout out to my boy, Chris, CoffeeTalks Strategy. You may know him from Reddit at SS Paladin. This guy is a genius deck builder. I gotta say, you know, like, I'm not that good at the game. I like to screw around and I like to have fun. It's most fun because I love Dragon Ball, and if anybody's a Dragon Ball fan, you will get into this game because this is Dragon Ball turned into a game that you can play with live people and make best friends like me and my friend right here. Anyway, I'm going into it. We're going to do a little bit of gameplay. CoffeeTalks Strategy is going to be talking a little bit about some deck building theory, and we're basically going to explain how to play this game. It's super fun. You can play it online to test out decks, and you can get into it. So first thing, if you're in the chat, I want you to click on that link in the description, drop over to CoffeeTalks Strategy YouTube channel, give this man a subscription, check out his channel. He's just getting it started. Sloppy Stew, I see you in there. You know I got you in your channel started like this, so you better go give this guy a sub. Super Awesome Ted, Keen Ross, and more, Swagger, all you guys, I want to give you a really big welcome to the chat, and check out this guy's channel. He's got some really creative stuff, and if you're looking to get into this game especially, or just have some fun, check it out. He's really awesome. Super Awesome Ted, awesome, super Ted, awesome. Big shout out for getting into that stuff, man. So that's it. That's the platform. I want to introduce my friend here, and you know, if there's anything you want to say here, would you prefer if I call you Chris or SS Paladin or Coffee Talks? What do you like to be called?
You can go ahead and call me Chris, man. I mean, like, if that's easier, like, for you, that's what I go by, you
Definitely. Whatever's clever. You know, Paladin Chris. Chris S. Paladin Coffee. That's maybe what I'll call you. Maybe I'll call you Chris. Who knows? You know, I'm weird enough guy. It can happen. So, is there anything you would like to say to, you know, get a little hype about this stuff going?
I am so stoked for Set 5, and like everyone coming in like to this game new, this is a great time to like come into it. I mean, Bandai kind of hit a little bit of a learning curve in, you know, the first couple sets, you know, and we just got out of a really toxic meta, but right now they have things set. And one thing I will say about Bandai is they listen to their community. They respond directly to their community. They watch the YouTube channels. They watch the Reddit. They go to all of like the events, and they're
on top of it, man. And they're making a game that's just so fun to play in any way that you play it. You know, you can just, there's so many ways to play this game. Like, you can play at the competitive level. You can play with your friends. I play with my mom, man. My mom and I went to regionals at Atlantic City, and it was like awesome. I don't know if any of you follow my Instagram out there. You all saw it. She crushed it. She got a what's the name when you get the? She was a bounty. My mom got a bounty. She got the Janemba bounty mat and stuff. It was awesome, man. There's so many ways to play this game, you know. And it's really, and you're totally right. Bandai definitely really listens to the player base. They listen to what's going on. They really care about what's happening, and it's pretty awesome. They really are actively making a game that is like fun to play, and props to them.
And like not even trying to like the game purely because it is Dragon Ball, because I am a huge Dragon Ball fan. I have been watching Dragon Ball and playing Dragon Ball since I was 8 years old. You know, I'm gonna hit you up for one of those shirts one day, man. But just trying to look at the game mechanics, it is a fun game. I mean, it ramps up as life goes down. It is so easy to, you know, like, get into, and it's so hard to quit. It's just a fun game.
It's really rad.
Play these big attacks, these big leaders. It's
awesome.
And
it's what's cool. Like, one of my favorite things about it is it's so much like the show, because like in the show they're always kind of like poking at each other. You know, they're like, all right, like, how strong are you actually? Like, can you do this thing? Like, what do you got in your back pocket? And that's basically the first half of the game. Is you're kind of like You're playing out these weaker cards. You're like putting some stuff on the board. You're like checking out what your opponent's deck does. And then it's like turn 4, turn 5. You're like, oh yeah, all right, here we go. Destructive finish, unnecessary blow up of landscape. It's good stuff, man. It's really good. So cool. I mean, maybe without further ado, let's get to it. Let's just get into a game and kind of show them how this stuff is done. You down with that?
Yeah, let's do this, man.
All right, cool. I'm gonna get this shrunken down. I gotta shrink my head down. And why don't you? So let's talk a little bit about this site first. This site is called Untapped. The website is untapped.in. Hey, Vex Gaming, what is good, man? Thank you for coming to the stream, dude. I know, dude. I would try to teach you how to play this game because we are gonna have the face-off of champions. And wait, but really quickly before we get into this, I just want everybody to recognize quickly that my new addiction, and I want to apologize. I know that we've been on the topic of addiction, but these popsicles are so motherfucking good, man. I can't get enough of these things. They're so good. I just can't stop eating these popsicles, but that's all right. I think I let this one melt a little too much. Oh, it's so good. Okay, let's do it, Chris. Why don't you, this website is called untapped.in. That's UNTAP.in. You can go on it to build decks, which we're going to go over, and you can go on it to play. So we're going to start up a game. Chris, why don't you shoot me an invite on there?
I actually just started a game there. It's titled Lil Joe.
Lil Joe. There we go. Join game. Yes, please. I would like to play casual.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, look at this. Vex is listening in. Vex isn't going to forget everything. Yo, Silver Rhyperior, what is up? I had a great day today. Egohan, what is good, my dude? Jamal Mohammed, thank you for coming to the chat, and thank you for being such a sweet man. You know, it's nice. Thank you for bringing this wonderful energy. All right, so here we go. I just want to make sure on my streamer. Yeah, it looks like we got this thing. So couple of things are going to be covered up by our faces, but... Oh, actually, wait. I should just do it this way. This will fix it. Aha! Internet is fixed. Okay, I think that's it. I think that probably then we can see what's going on, right? You won't be able to see my drop pile and warp, but oh, I can put it over here actually. Oh, even better. Oh, we have figured out. Yes, this is the internet. We have figured out the internet. All right. Yeah, please listen to Super Awesome Ted while I eat my popsicle. Go over to CoffeeTalks Strategy, Chris SS Paladin. Check out his channel. The link is in the description for his show. Go over there, drop him a subscription, and check out every single one of his videos because what else do I have better to do with my time? Okay, here we go. We're going to put a deck in here, so we click Insert Deck. A little bit sexual, but, you know, not too sexual. I need to finish this popsicle. It's going to fucking melt all over my life. All right. Oh, it's so good. It's so cold. God, it's popsicle. Why is it popsicle so good? Oh, it's really cold. Okay, so I call my deck my favorite deck to play. God, it's so cold. Oh, popsicle brain is frozen. It's not really your brain, it's more your pharynx region. But anyway. Okay, so now that I'm finished my popsicle, I have to wrap it up in a piece of fabric, or my girlfriend says, that's how we get ants. And you know, she's right, that's how you get ants. So you gotta wrap your popsicle stick up, wink wink, hint hint, insert deck. You gotta wrap your popsicle stick up, and then that's how you're gonna play this game. Okay, here we go. So I call my deck Valsalva Maneuver. I don't know if any of you, Lefort, if you're here, I know what you know what this means, but the Valsalva Maneuver is what you do when you take a shit. It's like the physiological name for like when you build a lot of pressure in your tube. So it's like, that's Valsalva's maneuver actually. So,
I did not know that.
Now you know. See, the more you learn. Coffee Talks with Lil Joe and my good friend Chris. Okay, so this is my deck down here. I think you can see it. It says 50. We have 50 cards in our deck. And what we can do is we can hit this V button. And when you hit V, it's going to shuffle your deck. That's shortcut. So I just shuffle my deck a bunch of times. And then what's the next move, my friend?
And then we are going to roll a die first. It's going to be the third one up and roll a 20-sided.
We're going to roll this die. I am going to click this
I rolled a 1.
And I rolled a 6. That's my lucky number. I was born on 6/6. A little lesser known fact of Little Joe's secret 6.
And then to start the game, we draw 6 cards.
I almost drew 8. I may forget. Number 6. Okay.
Oh, hold on. I think at the you just put that right into your drop button.
Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
Yes,
Okay,
so just discard half your deck.
Yes, that's right. So I'm going to pull those into my hand. So you know one of the cards I pull. Okay, so here we go. So, Chris can see my screen.
I have you minimize just so I can see just
wow, that's cool.
Just my square.
I believe you. You know, I believe you. But I'm also going to be talking about what's in my hand, so I won't take it really personally if I kick your ass really badly in this game. I also just want to put out there that I'm not actually that good at this game. I just really like to play it, and that's why I'm really excited to have somebody here that is pretty intuitive, interesting deck building, because we'll really get to bounce some interesting stuff off each other. So next move, what Chris is doing right now is he's sending cards back to his deck. So I have 6 cards in hand. I don't really actually want any of these cards, so I'm just going to hover my mouse over each card, and then I press the letter T on my keyboard, and then it's going to send the cards back to my deck. So I send everything back to my deck. I'm going to reshuffle my deck, and then here we go. I am going to draw. Sometimes I just hit this. I just say 2, 2, 2, and then there it is. I draw my hand, and that looks kind of fine. So I'm going to go first because I rolled higher on the dice. So I'm going to take...
Remember, your life.
Oh, yes, that's a very good point. Okay, thank you. So next thing we do is we go over to our deck, and then we say life points, and you can just hit the number 2 4 times, and then you have 8 life. So, Chris, you want to talk a little bit about how the life works?
Yes, this is one of the most interesting mechanics about the Dragon Ball Super card game, because it works. If any of you are familiar with the Pokemon card game, it works like that, only kind of in opposite, where instead of picking up a prize card when you defeat one of your opponent's monsters, it's now called life, and you draw a life when your opponent deals damage to you. So that's a really interesting mechanic, because you're giving your opponent hand advantage when you deal damage to them.
And the name of the game is hand advantage.
Just in that, battles can kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, and once your life points get reduced to 0, you lose the game. Or if you draw all the cards from your deck, you lose the game. And the object of the game, believe it or not, is to actually win the game. So if you lose all your life, you lose the game. But what's really interesting when you're 4 life, like we were saying, is you get to awaken, and then you kind of turn the tides of the game. So I guess let's just get into it, and we'll start playing. So the first thing that I do, since I'm going first and it's my turn, I get to charge an energy. Now when you charge an energy, you can take a card from your hand and you can place it in your energy area. So when you put that card out, you put the card out, and that card is now an energy. It has no other intrinsic value other than its color. So its color is yellow. That means that I have 1 yellow energy. And when I have 1 yellow energy, I can spend that 1 yellow energy to play something that costs energy in order to play. So the first thing that I'm going to play, I have 1 card in my hand that is 1 energy. And as you see this card, it does have a blue dot. And this blue dot means that it costs 1 blue energy. And you're saying, Little Joe, you are a liar. You have 1 yellow energy. How in heckin' way can you play this card? Well, my good friend, I have a little bit of a trick up my sleeve, and that is the secret of my leader. So my leader has this trait. It says Warriors of Universe 7. This is Son Goku. Excuse me. He treats all Universe 7 as if they have no what is called specified cost. And the specified cost is the little color of energy that is required to play the card. So this card is a 5-drop. It has Universe 7. It says so in the bottom right corner. If you don't believe me, I am not a liar. This is Universe 7. And though this costs 3 yellow energy and 2 other energy of any color, I can play this card for any color of any energy because of my leader card. It has this trait. It is called Warriors of Universe 7. And your leader card is always out in play. You have one leader card per deck, and your leader card is basically what your life points are connected to. So I'm going to take this energy and I'm going to turn it sideways, which means I spent it. This energy has now been used, and I'm going to play a card that is this one drop. Our drop refers to the amount of energy they require. So this one drop Goku is a one energy Goku. And when I play this card, it says auto. When you play this card, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, choose one Universe 7 among them, and add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And this is kind of like archetypal card, which we'll talk about some of these things later. But this kind of card exists for many different kinds of deck, where it is you play a card that is one energy to play, and the card then searches for in the top 3 cards of your deck, whether you have a card that has the trait Universe 7 or whatever inside of it. So here we go. We're going to look at the top 3 cards from our deck, and we have all Universe 7 cards, which is what we want. And we have to show the card now because it's specified that we have to take a Universe 7 card. So now we are going to take this Universe 7 card, we are going to drag it out into the battle area so our opponent can see that, yes, I am not a liar, this is a Universe 7 card, and I'm going to place this Universe 7 card into my hand. Since I went first, I am not allowed to attack on the first turn, and I am not allowed to draw a card on the first turn. So I am going to say, I'm going to close out this, and then I'm going to shuffle my deck. I'm going to shuffle it up my deck, and then I am going to hit the letter E, which means I am passing turn, and now it is Chris's turn. And Chris, please feel free to explain what you are doing as you do it.
All right, so because this is my first turn, but I'm the second player, I am allowed to draw, and I am allowed to attack here. So what I'm going to do now, well, actually, before I get into that, I want to talk about my leader ability here. This is Super Saiyan God Son Goku, and he was a set 1 starter who is still very relevant today. When he attacks, he untaps 1 blue energy, and on his awakened side, he untaps two blue. So really, like, what I want to do, I'm going to try to get this blue energy down first. So I'm going to lay a like Sensu Bean, and then I'm going to tap that just like little Joe did. Then I'm going to play Awakening Talent Pan. Now she is very interesting because she takes from like your own life. Now you're probably asking, why would you take from your own life? I mean, it's because every leader, when usually 4, sometimes 6, sometimes all the way down to 2, but usually 4. When you get down to 4 life, you flip this card over and he becomes more powerful. So a really common strategy is to play these self-awakening cards. Don't even worry about your first 4 life. They're not even your life. Only care about the last 4 life. So you're going to try to race down, especially in a deck like this, you're going to try to race down to 4 life. So I'm going to do that here. I'm going to tap Pan to attack his leader card. I'm not able to attack one of his battle cards because you can only attack battle cards that are in rest mode or tapped.
Yeah, so when a card is sideways, it's kind of like open. Like the card is no longer active. The active mode is when the card is straight up facing your opponent, and it signifies that you have used the card or done something with the card. Okay, so right. You're swinging at my leader?
Yes.
Okay, so when an attack is initiated, Chris says who he is attacking, and he declares what he is attacking with. Since he used 1 energy to play this Pan card, it's now in the battle area, and it becomes a viable option for him to attack with. And he is targeting my leader because, as we just discussed, you cannot attack a card that is in an active mode. So the first thing that happens when he declares the attack is the attack phase starts. So I will declare that I do not have any negates, so I'm not going to negate the attack.
Okay, and then my auto is like going to activate here. If you read Pan, which I have pulled up on the screen here, when this card attacks, you may choose 1 card from your life and add it to your hand. If you do so, this card gains plus 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to draw 1 card from my life here, and Pan is now 15k. So so then now it's my combo step, because the attacker always combos first, and then the defender combos afterwards. Now, what combo is? If you look at any like battle card, there's these little numbers like on the side. Like if you look at Pan here, she is 0 plus 5,000. So that means it costs 0 energy to combo with her, and then she would add 5,000 to whatever she combos on. Now just for the sake of just for the sake of a like example here, I'm going to combo with Unyielding Spirit Trunks. And during your turn, when you combo with this card, if your leader card is blue, which he is, then you get to choose up to 1 of my energy and like untap it.
Right. So Chris played this Unyielding Spirit Trunks in his deck because his leader is blue. So if his leader is blue, he can basically reverse the usage of an energy by comboing with this card. Now this card, I have it pulled up over here. You can see on the left-hand side, as he said, it has a combo power. So since his Pan was attacking for 5,000 originally, he did the auto on his Pan, and when he did the auto on his Pan, he took a card from his life. The action of taking a card from his life gave Pan plus 10,000, and then now he is comboing with an extra 5,000, as you can see on the left with Unyielding Trunks. So he is attacking me for 20,000, and he attacks me before I declare whether I am going to block or combo out of it, because he's kind of trying to push cards out of my hand. If I were to block, I would be wasting cards from my hand or my battle area, and that would give him the advantage of having a bigger hand, which is very important in this game. So I am going to say that I am not going to combo, and I'm not going to, well, I would have declared a blocker earlier, but we can get to that if we have some of those. I'm going to just declare that I'm not blocking the hit, so I will take 1 card from my life, and it goes into my hand because the hit was not critical.
All right.
I was asked in chat to ask you how much coffee you drink.
How much coffee have how much coffee I usually have a cup of coffee with me. Usually have my little Pokemon mug with me. In all my videos, I'm always drinking way too much coffee. I've actually already drained about two cups of this, so I'm going to go ahead and put that down for right now. Because if you guys haven't noticed, I do also have a little bit of a stutter, which is a struggle I've kind of had like my entire life. And you know, and
really
I'm really excited to see all the support over like YouTube. It feels like a very big kind of accomplishment.
Yeah, definitely, dude. And if you guys are on Reddit at all, check out the Dragon Ball Super Card Game Reddit. This dude is he leaves his reputation behind him. He's posted many decks, and they're all really rad. So okay, so here we go. We're continuing. I took the life from my I took the hit from my life, and did you say you're swinging with your leader?
I am not. I'm actually going to end my turn here, but before I do that, Pan has 1 more auto. She says, at the end of your turn, I get to return this card back to my owner's hand.
Right, so the autos are things on cards, and they're basically like the card's abilities. So when the auto triggers kind of when it suggests happens during the course of the fight. And that'll make more sense as we're playing more stuff. So my turn is now my turn. I'm going to draw a card from my deck. I'm going to tap the X button, and that will untap everything. I only have that 1 energy tap. So it comes back, and now I'm going to charge an energy. So I'm going to take something from my hand. I'm going to place it in the energy area. Oh, also, one thing that Chris did that I did not do is you can hover over energy card and press the letter I, and that will make the card flip over and turn into an energy, basically. That signifies that this card is an energy, that way it does not get focused or confused with some other things on your board. So here we go. I am going to tap 1 energy, or actually no, I'm sorry. I'm going to, so what just happened there is called the charge phase. The turns are made out of 2 portions. There's the charge phase and there's the main phase. So my charge phase is I draw a card and then I charge a card for energy. Unless it's the first turn, then you just charge a card as energy. But after the first turn happens, then it's always draw a card, charge a card, and each turn you get to charge 1 card, so you successively get more energy. And now that I have charged a card, now I can do whatever I want. I can play a card, I can attack with a card, I can use some kind of card in my hand that takes an energy to do something else. It doesn't matter. It's any order of operations, whatever you think would be most effective. And my doorbell just rang. Hold on 1 second.
Okay, you're fine, man. All right. So while he's gone, I'm going to talk a little bit about what some common strategies are. So like my deck, it's based off a swap storm deck, which anyone new coming to this game, you should feel so lucky that are coming in after that, because that turned into a very, very toxic meta. It was victories on turn 2. It was a crazy amount of untaps, a crazy amount of draws, and it was unhealthy for the game. And Bandai's response to that is what really made me love this game even more, because Bandai, they jumped on that, instantly, and they're trying to make this game without a ban list, without a restricted list, without too many erratas.
Yeah.
They do release sets very, very, very fast, which is kind of how they answer problem cards.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Do you know that Super Saiyan 3, the Super Saiyan 3 leader, was the first card placed on the ban list, which is huge in the community, but that was also a very, very healthy thing. Because when I went to Gen Con, it was just these SS3 swap fluke decks, which anyone who knows more about the game, you would kind of understand what I'm saying there. But
yeah,
it was the same. It was
basically
the
just
same
became
kind of thing.
vanilla.
It
It
was
became
on
a
turn 1.
very vanilla game where everybody's just doing the same thing, and that it made a lot of mirror matches. So there was still strategy involved. It wasn't like there was no strategy, but it was less fun because the main thing about the Super Saiyan 3 leader was he basically just made it easier to play. Like, you didn't have to think as much because you always had energy to defend with. Anyway,
right.
Back to the game. So it's my turn just started. My charge phase just finished. Now it's my main phase. So I'm actually going to attack with my leader. So I turn my leader sideways. I'm going to click on his leader. So I can just click on him, and then I can press the button H, and that shakes it, and that says, like, I'm attacking. So now the attack phase starts. So he says no response. He did that by hitting the button Q. And when he says no response, that means that he is not negating. There's no negate that's happening. And then my auto happens. And my auto says on this card, if I have Bond 1, then this effect happens. And Bond 1 is I need to have 1 Universe 7 in my battle area. That Universe 7 card is this Goku that I have. Since I have this Goku in my battle area, my leader gains plus 5,000 attack when he attacks, and I get to draw 1 card. So in order to draw a card, I need to have a Universe 7 in my battle area. So I'm swinging for 15,000. I will draw the 1 card from my automatic effect, and I will say no combos. And then it is his choice whether he wants to combo or not to block this hit.
I am not going to combo. I'm going to go ahead and take that life.
Okay, so now the tides are slightly closer. So here we go. Now I have some cards in my hand. I have some energy up. I don't need all my energy for my defensive turn, I think. So I'm going to turn this 1 card. I'm going to play another one of these Son Goku. And when I play this other Son Goku, I just kind of stack him to keep everything clean so you don't have like a ton of all these cards all over the place. And he allows me to do his auto, which is I look at the top 3 cards in my deck, and the card replaces itself if I can take a Universe 7. So I will take this card, which is a Universe 7 card. I show it to my opponent since it is specified that I have to take a Universe 7 card. I shuffle my deck, and I will take this card and I will put it back into my hand. Now I am going to pass turn, so I press the button E, and when I press the button E, it ends my turn and it passes it to my opponent, and now his turn starts.
So then, I'm gonna start by drawing here, and then I'm gonna play a yellow energy because my deck is blue yellow. Now I want to talk a little bit about the colors here. Blue is very, very defensive, and blue plays a lot of untapped. Blue is a very, very efficient build. Yellow plays a lot of control type. It plays a lot of control type stuff. It's a lot of tapping your opponent's battle cards. It's a lot of just locking them out of turns, or just control effects. In general. So blue is the most splashable color. It's very, very easy to include blue in almost any build. So anyways, I'm going to tap 1 yellow to play Planet Vegeta. Now what Plant Vegeta does is at the end of my turn, I switch all of my Great Apes in my battle area to like active mode, which is very, very important because like Great Apes are usually these very big blockers who hit very, very hard. And you're only able to attack cards that are in rest mode or when they are tapped. Now, at the end of my turn, switching them back to active mode means they are untargetable by just battle alone, which is insane. So, but Plant Vegeta's like other effect, which is my favorite effect, when you play this card, you place a card in your battle area, you get to choose one Saiyan card with an energy of 4 or less from your deck and add it to your hand. So I'm going to go ahead.
So what's really cool about this card is this is a different kind of card. It's called a field card. And a field card is an extra card. So there are 3 kind of cards in the game. There are extra cards, leader cards, and battle cards. What he just took is a battle card. That battle card is going into his hand. And usually when you play energy during your turn, you're usually playing battle cards, but you can also play field cards, and you can play some other extra cards. The extra cards would be equivalent to something like spell cards in other games, from what I understand. And the battle cards are kind of like monsters or something.
Yes. And then I'm going to tap my like blue energy to play Pan again. So she's very, very awesome because she keeps returning back to your hand. So it's very hard for your opponent to like get rid of her. So I'm going to tap her and attack Lil Joe's leader there.
I am going to say the letter Q because I'm not going to negate that attack.
Okay, and then I'm going to take 1 from my life to make her a 15k.
Alright, so I'm going to take that hit into my hand as I did not block.
You know what? And then I'm actually going to end my turn right there. So I'm going to return Pan back to my hand.
Okay, that was one of her auras, so you can do that.
Do
so now it's my turn, so I will press the letter X, and that turns everything back to active mode. Now I'm going to draw a card, and now I will charge a card as energy. So I'm looking through my hand and thinking about what the heck do I want to charge it. There are so many wonderful options here, but I'm really not entirely sure. So I think it's that I'm going to charge maybe... Oh my goodness, what do I do? I think maybe I'll charge this man. So I'll put this man in my energy area, I'll press the letter I, and it flips him upside down. And then I will attack. I will, what the term I use, you can say swing. So I am swinging at your leader. So I am clicking on him and saying that I am attacking. He says he does not negate. I am going to do the automatic effect on my leader, and I am going to draw 1 card for attacking. And then I declare that I am not comboing at all, so it's going to be 15,000 for the attack, which goes through because 15,000 is greater than 10,000. If he was at 15,000, 15,000 will also go through. And in order to block an attack, you have to go above, but we will get to that point once we start playing this kind of stuff. So next, I am going to tap 3 of my energy, 1, 2, and a 3, and I'm going to play this young lad. His name is a fuckest mind, Son Gohan. And Son Gohan is very focused in his brain, as you can see, where he is looking very concentrate, and his eyebrows are very, very specifically working in this way where he can think about what heck is going on in life. And that's really healthy to do for you, so when you have opportunity to do that, I highly recommend it. And that is going to be all for my turn, so I'm going to hit this letter of E, and that ends my turn, and I'm passing the turn to Chris.
All right, and see now I'm down to like 4 life. So if you read my leader here, it says when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and turn this card over. Now I'm going to get around to that, but first I need to lay a energy. Now I'm laying this big old dragon fist down as a energy. One very interesting thing about this game versus Magic or Pokemon or other like TCGs that require energy is this game has no dedicated energy cards. You have to choose which cards are going to just remain in your energy area for the rest of the game. So it's kind of a trade-off there. And now you're probably asking, why would I lay my big finisher down as a like energy? Part of it is I have other copies of him, and I don't need him like right now. It's like a lot of times it's actually better to lay a big card down for your energy than one of your smaller cards, which you're more likely to play. And especially because I have more turns and more opportunities to like find them. And then another reason why I would do that, if you look at his combo power, he costs 1 energy and adds like 10,000. Using an energy on using an energy on defense can be very, very, very tight because you usually use your energy for your like offense. Now you never want to completely tap out. That's super important. You never want to entirely tap out, especially during the later turns, or especially
What
after
he means by tap out is when you use all your energy. So if you use all of your energy, that's referred to as tapping out, which means you don't have energy to defend, which is exactly what I did. So if he has a big play that he can do on this turn, he can really force me into a bad situation because I have no energy up to defend myself.
So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to awaken my leader, which allowed me to draw 2 cards, if you guys remember from the front side there. And now, so now I turn Super Saiyan Blue here, and I'm all like gold and blue and sparkly, and it's awesome. And then like during my turn, if I have 5 or more energy, this card gains plus 5,000. And then also when this card attacks, I draw a card and choose two of my and choose two blue energy to like untap. Now what I'm going to do is kind of this like new mechanic here. I'm going to play this like Bardock. And when you play him, you like take a life, which is typically not recommended after like you awaken. But I'm trying to keep my hand size above his there. And then also, I wanted to show you guys this new swap mechanic. If you look at Bardock there, it says swap 2, like Goku's lineage. So you're able to play him and then return him to your hand, and then replace him with a Goku's lineage who like costs 2. So I'm going to do just that. I'm going to return him to my hand here, if I can. There we go. And then I'm going to replace him with the Scrambling Assault, like Son Goten. Now the Goku's lineage part, you can actually read that down in the special tray at the very bottom, like of the card here. You can see it much more clearly in the actual physical cards.
I have it pulled up on the side so they can see the text.
Right on. And then I'm going to swing with him.
Okay, so I don't have any energy to negate, so I will hit the letter Q, and that means I do not negate.
Now, what Goten does is when like he attacks, I get to look at the top 3 cards and pick any card and add it like to my hand, and that's a very important like definition. When like Lil Joe there, when he was playing those 1 cost like Gokus, like they were saying, look for a specific card, so he would have to show me to prove that he found the right card. Now with Goten here, it just says add a card. There's no keyword requirements or anything. So I don't have to show him which card that I'm adding here. So I'm gonna add a mystery card to my hand here, and the other 2 go to the bottom of my deck. All right, so now it's my combo step, because he said that he has no negates, and I'm actually going to combo with Unyielding Spirit Trunks here to untap my yellow energy. So I am now 15k coming to. Well, no, never mind. I'm sorry. I'm going to combo one more thing here. Now, when I combo with like this card, I get to choose one of my opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less, and like KO it. Wow, I forgot Focus Minds. Like Son Gohan had a like barrier there. I'm usually way better at this.
It's very small
so
card.
I'm actually going to forget. Ooh, I'm going to forget that I even did that in the first place. That's 15K.
All right,
so that I have that.
So I'm getting hit here for 15k, and I am going to take that hit. So I will draw one card from my life, and now I have another card in my hand from my life.
Mm-hmm. So then he's going to go to my drop there, and then and the last thing that I'm going to do is swing with my leader at his leader, just so I can draw a card. Now usually because he's at 5 life there, I don't really want him to like be awakened, but you kind of have to judge that.
And you judge it right, because I am going to block that with 2 of these Gokus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to combo them and block that hit, so I do not take the hit.
Now, something very important to mention here is you're able to combo with cards from your battle area as long as they are in active mode. If they're in rest mode, then you're not able to combo with them. So that's something to kind of keep in mind when you're going to your defense turn, and you're and you never want to spend all of your resources going on the like defense. Even though Lil Joe was entirely tapped out there, he did have 2 combo pieces there, so he was able to save up to 10k of damage there.
That's right. I had to get to 20,000 because his leader is attacking me for 15,000.
Mm-hmm. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end my turn.
Alright, so I'm going to draw 1 card here for my turn. I'm going to press the button X, which turns everything back to active. And then I'm going to choose a card from my hand to play as energy. So I think I'm going to play this card as energy. And I'm going to put it here, and I'm going to turn it upside down. And I am going to take my leader card here, and I'm going to swing at his leader card. So press H, and then he says whether he is going to negate or not negate, and he says he will not negate. So what I will do is I will take this 1 card, and I will turn it sideways, and I will draw 1 card, because this card is a super combo card. So it says when you combo with this card, if your leader card is Universe 7 and you have 5 or less life, draw 1 card, and this card gains 10,000 combo power. So when I draw this card, I'm sorry. First, before I do that, I do my auto. I have to draw a card for my auto. So I will draw 1 card for my auto. Then I take this card, and I'm comboing with this card. So that adds extra 10,000, and I get to draw for that card. And then I will use this another card here, and I will combo with this card. So I'm turning this card sideways. Now I am at 15,000 from the bond 1, which I have, 15,000, 25,000, and then plus another 5,000 is 30,000. And then I will add 1 more combo, and there's very specifically a reason why I'm doing this. You might say, what the heck, this is so strange for you to be doing this. But I will add this 1 more piece here, and I will turn it sideways, and I will draw 1 card. And then I will send all these cards into my drop area because they have been used for combo. So, oh, I'm sorry. First, if you want to block. So this is
45.
Sorry about that. Yeah, 45. Okay, so the way that works is this is swinging for 15,000 because I have bound 1. Then I'm adding 10,000 to that, which is 25. Then I'm adding another 5,000 to that, which is 30. And then I'm adding another 10,000 to that, which is 40. So since I'm attacking for 40,000 hit, he has to get 45,000 in order to block it if he wants to.
Okay. I'm going to combo with my super combo and draw off of that.
That's correct. So super combo cards, when you're below a certain amount of life, or if you have some other prerequisite, you can draw a card for using it as a combo card. And he uses another one.
So they're pushing up to 30, 35.
So he needs 1 more 10,000, and he will be comboed to match what I am using.
And that is 40. Wait. No, yeah, 35, 40.
Yeah, 40. So he just needs 5 more. If he has 1 more 5 piece he can play from his hand, then he will have comboed for 45, which will successfully block this hit.
No, because you're at 45 and the attacker
Oh, am I at
wins
45?
in the time.
No. I think I'm at 40 because Goku is 15. 15 plus 5 is 20, and then I have 2 super combos, which puts me at 40. So you need just 45.
Right on. So I'm actually going to combo off this like Goten here, and then I'm going to play a Sensu Bean, which that has a activate battle, which means that you're able to activate it during either you or your opponent's battle, and that's plus 5,000 to like my leader for the remainder of the turn. So if he wants to do any more attacks, he's gonna have to combo over 20.
Yo, just so you know,
also
man, you know,
taps energy.
You're at 55.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like that's all right.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now all these cards go into my drop area. So these cards are now drop area is kind of like a graveyard or something like that, which you might be familiar with. And then I am going to turn 4 of my energy here. And I am going to play this new card from set 5, which I'm so psyched about. Shenron, Figure of Majesty, which is in the Shenron deck. This card is so lit. I'm so psyched about this card. Basically what it does is I cannot attack with this card. So it is a 20,000. I cannot attack with it. And once per turn, if I have something called Sparking 5, I can draw 1 card, and then I can choose any of the following. So I can choose 2 of my energy and switch into active mode. I can choose 1 battle card with energy of 2 or less from my drop area and play it. Or I can choose a leader card or one of my battle cards, and it gets 5,000 and critical for duration of the turn. So that is pretty good. That's a pretty awesome series of things. So the first thing is that when I play this card, or I guess I am activating main on this card, right? That's not an auto. This is an activate main. So since it is my main phase, I will choose activate main. I get to draw 1 card, and then I get to choose 2 of my energy, and I can switch them back to active mode. So I will switch 1 of these blue energy, and I will switch 1 of these yellow energy back to active mode. Now I have 2 energy up, which puts me in a much better defensive position for when I am going to be attacked next turn. So here we go. That's all I'm going to do for this turn. This is the first time I've ever played that card. It's pretty exciting. I haven't tested this deck. This is such a cool
card. Psyched for that Shenron card, and I'm actually picking up a Shenron starter deck tomorrow.
Nice.
So
yeah,
you guys watch my unboxing video.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to hit E, and that's the end of my turn, and I have passed the turn to Chris.
Okay, I'm going to untap everything here. Draw a card. Woo-hoo. All right, now I'm gonna put one of these pans down as a energy because I'm already awakened. That's another really cool thing about like Pan is her returning back, like to your hand after you already awakened. Now she's just free energy or a combo piece. So very first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tap all 4 of my energy here. And I'm gonna lay this Gotenks. Now, what this Gotenks does, he is a 20k critical. Now, what critical is when you deal damage to your opponent, instead of that card going to their hand, it goes right to the drop area. It can be a very, 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 very powerful effect. And then he has his activate main. I get to place this card in the drop area, and then I get to choose 1 each of Goten and Trunks, like from my deck, and add them to my hand, and then untap 2 energy. This is a card that has a lot of utility. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to attack with Goten first at his leader.
Alright, so I have to make a decision here about what I want to do. And I think that I am going to negate the attack. So I will turn this card, I will choose this negate, and I will play it out. And that means that I'm not going to take the attack. This card then goes into my draw pile, and the automatic effect of this card, it says negate the attack, then choose 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. So I'm going to put this card in my draw pile, and I'm going to turn this blue energy back to active mode.
All right. And then I'm going to attack with my Gotenks here at his leader.
And this one, I don't want to take this hit either because this is critical. So this is really bad. And I have a really, really asshole card in my hand right now, which is what I'm going to play. I don't know how much is going to mess him up because I still know with his leader, he can still attack, turn 2 energy back, and he can probably do some pretty annoying stuff. But I'm going to go on a risk here because I don't want to take this attack. I'm going to turn my 2 energy that I have open, and I'm going to play the most annoying defensive card in the game. It is Mafuba! And this card is, what it happens is you seal the card for a whole turn. So he won't actually get to turn that card back for a whole entire turn. Not just this turn, but the next turn, the Mafuba will stay on top of the card. But very important to remember, even though Mafuba is staying on top of the card will come back into active mode at the end of his next turn. Or at the beginning of his next turn, which is a very, very important thing because cards that are in active mode and not in active mode are interacted with differently on different turns.
It's actually the end of my next turn.
Okay, the end of your next turn. So at the end of your next turn, the card comes off. But I read a very interesting reading on this because there was a problem in a tournament that at the beginning of your next turn, when you bring everything back to active, the Gotenks card comes back to active, even though it's still not treated as a battle card.
Right.
Which is a very interesting ruling because that will make some cascading effects of kind of different things you can do. So I basically played this card to negate the attack. So I am sealing that card up for a turn because I'm scared of it because I think he has some crazy trick up his sleeve. And I said, please, God, I do not want any kind of part of that. So that is what I did there.
That was a great play. So yeah, I kind of have to go to Plan B here and swing with my leader at like his leader, which allows me to draw a card and untap 2 blue energy.
All right, so he is swinging for 15,000. I am at 10,000, so that means I would need to come up with 10,000 to block it, which he probably knows is pretty unlikely that I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take that card from my life into my hand.
Okay. And then I'm gonna do something. All right, so if he's gonna go ahead and Mafuba my Gotenks, I'm gonna do something sneaky and underhanded to a hand here. I'm playing this. This is a overwhelm card. So you know, like what that means is that you have to have. He says overwhelm 5. And then the little circle 1. The little circle 1 is a 1 energy. Now, overwhelm 5 is if you have 5 or more cards in your drop area, then you're able to play them. And then you put all of these to your warp. You don't put 5 like in your warp. You put all of them you put all of them into your warp. So
right. So just because it says overwhelm 5. If he has more than 5 in his drop area, then he is able to play it. If he has more than 5 in his drop area, say he has 7 in his drop area, he has to warp all 7 of those cards. It does not mean that he just warps 5 from his drop area. If you have that number or greater, everything gets warped and goes into your, and now your drop area becomes your warp, and now you have to build up a new drop area if you are wanting to play Overwhelm again. And almost all leaders, except for one, only allow Overwhelm to be played once per turn.
All right. So then, So then, when we play this card using Overwhelm, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, which the total cost as the 5 or less, and send them to. So goodbye, Shenron.
Nightmare! Anyway, I really deserve that move. This guy is tough. This Mass Sand he's a really good card. So he has what's called Double Strike. So if he hits me, he's going to hit me for 2 life. It's not going to be 1 life. And that is something that I don't know how much I want to deal with, but I don't know if I really have that much of an option. So here we go. That's going to be 20,000, and I'm going to say no negates because I have no energy to negate, and now is his chance to combo, whether he wants to combo or not.
I'm going to combo on a like Sensu Bean and turn him into a 25,000. How about this? A 30,000 like double strike.
All right, so 30,000 double strike. So what that means is if I want to block that hit, I have to get my leader to 35,000, and I would lose that many cards from my hand. But if the attack does go through and I am not able to block for 35,000, well, joke's on me. I now have to take 2 cards. And there is no way with my hand right now that I'm going to be blocking that. He knows I don't have super combos because he saw me piss all those out my last turn. So I'm going to draw 2 cards from my life into my hand, and I will take that hit.
All right. And he's going to go to my drop area. And then it's going to be the end of my turn here. So like Overwhelm cards, at the end of your turn, they go to your warp.
That's correct.
So he just comes in for just one big effect for that one turn.
Right, and more often than not, the overwhelm cards, you only get to do their effect if you overwhelm them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also a reason why you would want to overwhelm them, and you're saving all of energy, but they just kind of come out, check stuff out, and then they're out. So as the beginning of my turn, I'm going to press X, which will turn all my cards back. For the beginning of my turn, I get to draw 1 card, and I am going to be charging 1 card as energy. So let's see. I want to take a card from my hand, and I'm going to take a card from my hand, and I'm going to place it as energy. This card does not have too much. Let's see. This is going to be, interestingly enough, business. This is tricky stuff, man. Okay, so I am going to play Wow, there's so many decisions right now to have to make. Alright, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take this card from my hand, I'm going to play it as energy, and I'm going to turn it upside down, and I am going to tap 5 of my energy, so 1, 2, actually sorry, I'm not going to do that, so I'm not going to do that. I am going to use this effect, which I can press H on this card, and now with this Gohan, what's cool about him is I get to look at the top 7 cards in my deck. And when I look at the top 7 cards in my deck, I can take a Universe 7 from those top 5, and I can play it by paying its energy cost. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing the card that I want to see in my deck, so I am going to close that out. I will shuffle what is in my deck. Whoops. I'm going to shuffle what's in my deck, and I'm going to pay 5 energy from my hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I'm going to play this Goku. And when I play this Goku, I am allowed to turn 1 of my energy back to active mode, and I get to draw 1 card. So I'll draw 1 card there. And then I am going to awaken my leader. So when I awaken my leader, I get to flip him over, and I get to turn 2 of my energy back, which is pretty freaking awesome. So I'm going to turn 1 energy back here, and I'm going to turn 1 energy back here. So now I'm back at 3 energy, which is really extremely useful for me to do. And
I kind of want to say something about that there.
Yeah.
There are usually 2 kinds of like leaders. There are leaders who draw 2 and leaders who like untap 2. Now draw 2 leaders, they're better for like defense, because you are able to awaken from your defensive combo step. Like when your opponent attacks you and you say no like negates or counters, and then they combo, and then once your combo turn, you're actually able to awaken your like leader. Now on the defense, drawing 2 cards, that is 2 more combos, or that's another negate in your hand. It can really come in clutch. Now these untapped 2 leaders, they're great for like offense, because you're able to do pretty much what he just did there, where he just played he's played a 5-cost card, and he ultimately has 3 untapped energy. So untapped 2 leaders are really able to extend plays.
Yeah, it's really useful mechanic. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead now, and I am going to swing at your leader, and now he declares whether he has any negates or not.
I do not have no negates.
Okay, I am going to play 2 Senzu Beans on this on my Goku. So what I can actually do is, this is an activate battle attack. I am attacking for 15,000. The Senzu Beans cost 1 blue energy, but I get to turn 2 energy back. So for each one of them, I pay 1, and then I turn 2 energy back, so I net 1 energy plus. So I'm all the way back at 5 energy, And now I can choose which card I want to put this plus 5,000 on. And now my Goku is at 35,000 instead of 25,000. But my attack is just for 15,000 on his leader.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So he's just 15,000. I'm just gonna combo off Adopt a Father Son Gohan here to bring it to 20,000 and stop that attack.
All right. So now these two cards go into my drop area. And I am going...
So he's now at 35,000 double strike?
He is at 35,000 double strike. Yes. And then I am going to swing at your leader with my leader. And what happens with my leader, my auto says Bond 2. So when I have Bond 2, if I have 2 or more Universe 7 in my battle area, which I do, this card gains plus 5,000 and double strike. So now it is double strike, 20,000. And my auto is I get to draw a card. Well, first you state if you're going to negate or not, which I didn't hear. If you, did you say?
I am not going to.
Okay, no negate, so I'm going to draw one card. And then now he can choose to combo out of this. So it's just going to be 20,000 double strike, no combos.
Ooh. You know what? I'm going to take the risk here, and I'm going to take that.
I think that's probably in his best interest because he was at 6 life, or he has at 6 cards in hand. Now he is at 8 cards in hand. I'm at 9 cards in hand. So that kind of puts him in a new kind of position, which is probably good for him. So I am going to turn one of my energy, and I'm going to play my signature Goku card on top of my Goku. And now I have evolved this card. So what this card says is, it says EX Evolve 1. So I turn one energy, and then I have to place 2 Universe 7 from your hand in the drop area, and then I evolve this onto a Goku Universe 7 with an energy cost of 5 or more, which is the card that I just evolved it into. And then I drop 2 Universe 7. So I'm going to drop this and this, which are both Universe 7 cards. And I'm going to put these both into my drop area. And then I am going to attack with this card, and I see that he has 2 blue energy up, so he may try to pull the exact same thing on me, which I pulled, but I've gone in deep here, and I need to give it a go. So I'm going to swing with this Hope of Universe 7 Goku at his leader, and now this is a 35,000 critical hit. However, since I boosted my underneath, I gained plus 10,000, so he is actually at 45,000. And now he states whether he is going to negate, and it definitely looks like he's going to negate, and it looks like it's a very similar negate as to what I played.
Mafuba!
Okay, wait, hold the phone, because Lil Joe has one more little sneaky trick up his sleeve, and this is the Battering Laser. So I have this card, it is the Battering Laser, and this is the most annoying card in the game. I played the most annoying card in the game last turn, and then Chris it sucked for him that I played this card, but he had it in his hand. And then he played what is the most annoying card on me, but I was attacking with an extremely annoying card because this card is really going to hurt. And then he played this most annoying card, but this card is like the most annoying of annoying card, and this is the Battering Laser. What this card does is if he plays a counter, I can counter the card that he is playing if I pay 1 yellow energy, and then I have to get rid of 1 yellow card from my hand, and it goes into the drop area. So this card I have to throw away in order for the Battering Laser to work. And it worked.
Well, damn. It worked. So what? You're now
so it's a 45,000 critical hit on your leader. And my auto is I get to take 1 card from your battle area or from your hand and send it to your drop area. And I'm going to choose randomly this card, whatever that is, and send that to your drop area.
Jeez. All right. So what? He's a 55. This might be game, man. Yeah, because I can only combo up to a 35 here.
Wow. And the worst part about that is I get to do that 2 more times. This card, oh my god, do not sleep on this card, man. This dude, he hits so hard. And I forgot to do when I awakened. I made this I was hanging out with Chris and I just made this t-shirt. I'm so soaked on this t-shirt. This is my deck t-shirt. I see, oh wow, our chat's really going up. We got 4 people here. But hopefully for those of you watching this video later on, this is my t-shirt. That was a crazy game, man. That was a really good game. You know,
we were able to show so much there too. So
definitely,
I think
that was a great decision on the card decks. So basically what happened there is I hit him for his last life. He did not have enough energy to combo out of it. He loses his last life, and I won this game. Luckily, I drew from my life when he hit me the battering laser. If I did not have that in my hand, he would have mafubaed my card and he would have annihilated me next turn. So I was very, very, very lucky to have that card in my hand. But, you know, that's the name of the game. You know, it's very interesting. You put in certain numbers of cards in your deck in balanced ways, and it kind of allows you to play the game in very interesting certain ways. So pretty much for this stream, I kind of want to wrap it up. Stay on the line with me because I want to keep chatting. But I want to wrap it up for this. Chris, I want to give you a huge thanks for coming on the show. And what were you going to say? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, I was actually like I say, if anyone wants to see how my deck is supposed to play, because that's it's a really interesting thing about this game is the strategies and the counter strategies, and like trying to spy versus like your opponent there. If anyone wants to see how this deck is supposed to play out, over on my channel on CoffeeTalks Strategy,
yes.
There's a Triple Storm versus Mecha Frieza deck. Or Triple Storm versus Mecha Frieza like video, and I break it down a lot like how we did in your like this video, and you really get to see how this deck is supposed to be played. So with that.
Yeah, so I basically, the video that we just did today, this is really like back and forth, showing the turns, showing we explained a lot of stuff, and for those of you that hung with us all the time, that is super dope. I appreciate you all staying and checking out what we're talking about. For those of you watching this later on, this is really kind of explaining how the step-by-step of this game works, how the turns work, how the attacks work. And you can always, go back and forth and try and rewatch stuff to learn a little bit more how to play. Of course, as I always tell you, if you want to hit me up on Line App, my line ID is lil.joh. Hit me up. I'd love to give you more resources on this game. And more importantly than anything, please make sure to go on over to CoffeeTalks Strategy. The link is in the subscription. Hit that in the description. Hit the subscription button for this guy. Check out his channels. This is a really, really fun game, and it's awesome. You can test stuff online. You can play in real life with actual people with real physical cards and not just digital video game characters that will disappear when the server crashes. And it's really dope and fun to do it. And again, huge shout out, big thanks to Chris, CoffeeTalks Strategy, SS Paladin on Reddit. Thank you for coming by, man. And is there anything else you want to say at all?
No, thanks. Thank you, for the match, man. And over on like my channel, I do a 3-minute meta plug, which is what I call my videos where I break down creative decks. Over on Reddit, I was doing a deck a day post where I was trying to post a new creative deck that would be relevant to the meta every single day. So if you want to keep up on this, if you need help deck building, if you have any crazy deck ideas, shoot them my way, because I absolutely love talking about strategy and deck building and like all that. And I love helping on new players, and I love talking about strategy with veteran players. So
yeah, you can hit up Chris in his comment section. So when you watch his videos, just hit up his comment sections and feel free to drop him comments in there. He's also super active on Reddit, so if you get onto Reddit and the community there, you can also usually get in contact with him pretty easy. That's how we ended up here, so it's pretty rad. Cool. Yeah, so thanks again. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and watching the show. I want to say peace out. This is Little Joe. This is Dragon Ball Super card game, arguably the best game in the whole freaking world. You should check it out. You should play it. It's so damn cool. This is my new t-shirt I made especially for his stream, and this is my leader. I pledge him my soul. This man is my moral compass, and I want to wish him the best, and I want to say thanks for coming. See you next time. Peace.